we have started the Book of Love. It's a very brief book, short one, just 3 cantos, and the last draft of the book was completed by Shibendu sometime in 1945-46. I would say this is perhaps one of the most beautiful books, very sweet, very enchanting, very lyrical of the spiritual kind. It is not just psychic, but it is psychic spiritual, and it is that lyricism which has entered into Savitri's Book of Love. It is that which makes it also different from what one would see in the Kalidasian poetry of this kind in Sanskrit, where the touch is more romantic. There is a spiritual element, but that is more romantic than psychic lyrical what we have here. In fact, it looks as though the Book of Love was written somewhere in the higher transcendent, not at all on this world. And it is the description of that coming together of the divine souls, which is kind of transcribed here on earth. It is a kind of a transcription of what is there here on this earth. Now, as I said last time, there is also the element of story in this book, and the book begins with 2 significant lines. But now the destined spot and hour were close. That itself is a complete sentence. But now, I told you last time, Savitri was going from place to place for 1 year, and finally she has arrived at the place where she is going to meet her future husband. And in that sense, it is a destined place also. Not only destined place, but also destined hour. Now, destined spot and destined hour again is a transcription of what has been decided up there. It is a transcription. It has to be kind of enacted upon the earth. And what we are sort of immediately seeing here is that enactment on the earthly plane. Destined spot and hour, they have been already fixed. But Savitri, the second line, gives the contrast. Unknowing she had neared her nameless goal. Nameless to Savitri. It has already been fixed elsewhere, destined. The goal, the time, everything is fixed already. But nameless to human Savitri. And human Savitri will come to know in the course of time that she was definitely led to this particular place at this particular moment. In fact, in the expanses of space and time, the 2 persons coming together exactly at a given moment and at a given spot, the probability is, one cannot really imagine. The cross section of interaction is practically 0. But it has to happen, and it will happen, it has happened. That is what these 2 lines convey. Now, then later on he says, of course, for though a dress of blind and devious chance is laid upon the work of all wise fate, our acts interpret an omniscient force that dwells in the compelling stuff of things, and nothing happens in the cosmic play but at its time and in its foreseen place. Once more, he is emphasizing what he has said in the first line. Nothing happens, it will happen only at a given time, at a given place, because it has been destined. Now, there is an element of chance, there is an element of all wise fate, there is the omniscient force which is driving all the events through. It is being driven, everything is being driven. See, in the cosmic play, there is a triple play. There is the destiny fixed in the transcendent, the supernatural, the transcendent. That is one. It is fixed, it is done, it has to be that way. But then there is also the cosmic working, the working of nature here in the cosmic movement. So the transcendent is there, nature on the cosmic plane is there, and the third and the most significant is the individual's soul. The individual's soul also has to join along with these three, along with the other two, the cosmic nature, cosmic play, the transcendent will or transcendent determination, and the individual's response to it, his preparedness, response to it. See, this is very significant, and one great example is again from the Mahabharata itself, the example pertaining to the Gita. Arjuna is a prepared instrument. The course of events is already fixed elsewhere. In the occult, it is determined the war has to take place. Kauravas have to be defeated. The enemy has to be destroyed. It has already been fixed. It is already determined, fixed. No question about that at all. So the cosmic determination, the play is already there. The cosmic forces are joined together on the battlefield. But the third element is the individual. Arjuna has to take the bow of victory in his hand and shoot out arrows at the enemy. Exactly at that moment of time, he succumbs. His weakness comes out, and then that becomes the occasion for Krishna to give him a sermon, a lesson, to push him up, to bring him to his senses, so to say. The divine guide is there, and it has become a kind of a responsibility for him that the instrument gets ready for the battle. If the cosmic determination is already there, the war has to take place, the battle has to be fought, the enemy has to be vanquished, then does it mean that in the absence of Arjuna, all that will remain suspended? Will not happen at all. Is he extremely pivotal in the whole action? That is important. In fact, the Mahabharata says that to fulfill destiny, to carry out the force of fate in this world, the individual has to be a participant in that whole business. He has to participate. He has to participate. That is important. So, in the case of the Gita, Arjuna had to be prepared. Otherwise, that whole purpose of Krishna coming here, taking avatar root and all that thing would have become futile. Would have nothing would have been availed at all in the course of events. So he had to be prepared, and a kind of an occult force was put into his soul that he gets ready and picks up the weapon of victory in his hand and shoots out arrows at the enemy. That was important, you see. The cosmic fate is fulfilled by the individual's action. That is important here. Individual's action. So there is a kind of a responsibility on us. It is fated, is it okay, but the individual soul is important at the same time. Now, let me give you another example, rather a sad example. As early as in 1918 or somewhere around that time, when Purani Shivantu for the first time, he had asked him about India's freedom. And he says, but I see India is free. India is free. Later on again, in the mid-1930s, the mother says that I see India is free. It is destined for the destiny's work to be carried out that India becomes free. To be carried out. So the cosmic omniscient force has already decided up there. Now the cosmic plays here, all the individuals which are involved here, they get now entangled in the operation there. The problem here was that there was no ready soul to go by that cosmic decision, that transcendental decision. And the result was a fractured independence and all the calamitous events which took place afterwards. The soul of the nation was not ready. It is as simple as that. The soul of the nation was not ready. Then, of course, on the political level, we have got this and that, and all kind of things happened. In spite of Shivantu's intervention in 1942, he had sent his special emissary to Delhi, telling all the leaders of the country at that time, please accept Cripp's proposals. That is practically independence. But that was rejected. It only shows again that the soul of the country was not ready. And although the decision is up there, still you have all these deformations, these calamities, all those things which keep on happening here. All these three things are important. The transcendental decision, Shivantu saw that India's independence is a necessity for his spiritual work. He saw it from that angle. For his spiritual work it was necessary. In the cosmic play, all these politicians, everything has come into picture, and this is what happened. The soul of the country is not prepared, is not ready. All the three elements come here. In the case of Savitri, what we see here is that her soul is ready, and therefore the response is quick. The response is quick. The destined place is there, destined hour is there. She is not knowing yet of her goal, but there is something in her soul which responds immediately. That is the greatness, that is the beauty, that is the reality of the soul of Savitri, that she can respond to that and carry out what has been fixed elsewhere. Although she has no knowledge of it, she is ignorant of it. Unknowing, she had neared her nameless goal. There is something in her which is driving her on the way all the while, you see. For though a dress of blind and devious chance, she has been going from place to place unknowingly, this way, that way, there is a kind of a veil around which The human veil is there. Savitri has taken a human birth, so she has to accept the human veil. Is laid upon the work of all wise fate. Fate, full wisdom is there. The omniscient force is there in it. But there is a human veil that dwells in the compelling stuff of things, and nothing happens in the cosmic play but at its time and in its fixed place and moment and all that. This is what happens, you see. So Savitri is, in that sense, is really, shall we say, spiritually, in the upper sense, matured up fully to meet this hour, to come to this point, come to this place. This place is also ready, charged with the whole thing, and she is able to respond to that thing. To a space she came of soft and delicate air that seemed the sanctuary of youth and joy. Obviously, youth and joy, because young souls are going to meet here. It is going to be an act of love out there coming together. So, freshness is there, that spontaneity is there, that openness is there, that same the sanctuary of youth and joy, a highland world of free and green delight, all open spaces, trees, mountains, rivers, forests, everything there, a free and green delight, where spring and summer lay together and strove in indolent, amicable debate, in arm disputing with laughter who should rule, whether it is summer who is going to rule or it is spring who is going to rule. Basically, it means that it is a period of transition from spring to summer. The meeting takes place early in the summer. And as I said earlier also, the month of the season summer is important in the narrative of the story. In the narrative of the story, it is important. In fact, the earlier book 4, started with the description of the seasons. And the very first season which is described is the summer, Grishma, and then it rolls out through all those 6 seasons, comes to spring when the birth of Savitri takes place in spring. And again, maybe after 20 years or 16 years or 18 years, Savitri has now grown into full maidenhood. She must get married, and here comes once more this summer. It is 1 year after the marriage. Again, in summer, Satyavan must die. So, summer is connected with the death of Satyavan. Summer is connected with the death of Satyavan. And therefore, this is not just for the sake of poetry that the poet is saying the summer and the spring are coming together. It is a purposeful mention of summer, that next year, this time, exactly 1 year after the marriage, Satyavan has to die in the summer. It is the power of the sun, which the body cannot bear. It is that which is going to cause his death. High intensity of the spiritual sun, or the supramental sun, which the physical cannot bear. And therefore, it has to abandon that body in order to take a new birth in a new body and come out. Summer becomes again significant from that point of view. In arm disputing with laughter, who should rule? Their expectation beat wide, sudden wings, as if a soul had looked out from earth's face, and all that was in her felt coming change, and forgetting obvious joys and common dream, obedient to time's call, and the spirits of fate were lifted to a beauty calm and pure, that lived under the eyes of eternity. Their expectations beat wide, sudden wings. So, expectation is a bird. That bird is flying in the sky, and suddenly it started beating its wings. Expectation started beating wing. Expectation, yes, it's going to be here. She doesn't know yet, but she has a kind of an intuition, a feeling, a sense, a perception. Yes, it's going to be here. Perhaps it is here I am going to meet my life's partner here. That expectation is there, and therefore that expectation comes like a bird. Bird, the symbol of a soul. So the soul of expectation, it is that which is now flying in the sky here and coming to this point here. Their expectation beat wide, sudden wings, wide. Nothing is going to narrow it down. It has full width, full breadth, full luminosity, and of course the suddenness of his flow. And all that was in her felt a coming change. That's the important thing. She is already feeling that coming change now. The moment she enters this place, she has entered into a new atmosphere. And that feeling is there, that perception is there. And forgetting obvious joys and common dreams, what she was carrying all along, like a common human being, all that has gone away. New dreams, new joys of expectation are filling up her soul, her heart. Obedient to time's call and the spirits of fate were lifted to a beauty calm and pure that lived under the eyes of eternity. So this is what happens. The whole place is beautiful, lovely, joyous, calm, pure, serenity is there, no mental distortion, no vital blemishes, no vital urges and things of that kind. Pure soul atmosphere is there, and all that thing under the eye of eternity. Eternity himself is seeing the whole scene, the whole moment. Savitri is coming here at this point, obedient to time's call, because she has come to time. See, that's the beauty of the whole poetry of Savitri. You have got time's call, you have eternity's supervision about that. Both of them are simultaneously here. Eyes of eternity are watching the moments of time. Time has now arrived at this place, and eternity is now ready to snatch that particular moment. For lifted to beauty and calm and pure that lived under the eyes of eternity. A crowd now follows the description of the landscape. See, a crowd of mountainous heads assailed the sky, pushing towards rival shoulders nearer heaven, the armored leaders of an iron line. Earth prostrate lay beneath their feet of stone. So on the one side, there are the ranges of mountains, climbing up one above the other, trying to reach heaven, climbing up, assailing the sky, pushing towards rival shoulders. This mountain trying to push up, that mountain trying to push up, let me go up, let me go up, like that, as if in competition. Pushing towards rival shoulders, nearer heaven. The armored, what are these mountains? They are the guardians. They are the protectors of this place. Below their feet, at the foothill, is the landscape, are the fields. Beneath their feet, earth lay prostrate, green fields are there at the feet of this mountain. In other words, this whole place, these mountains are guarding the earth for the future purposes. Guarding iron lines strong, firm, nothing can dislodge them from the position. these mountains, guarding in two ways. First, of course, to protect that moment and that spot. They are guarding it. They are watchful. Okay, the moment has come. Okay, this is the place. Things are going to happen. They are guarding it, you see. They are going to allow that moment to slip away. They are guarding that moment of their meeting, of their coming together, guarding it together. At the same time, later on, 1 year after this meeting, it is here that Satyavan is going to die. And his mountains are there to guard that thing. They are guarding the iron law. Yes, it is here. He will die here in this place. And these mountains are standing not only witnessing their first meeting, but also they are going to witness later on the death of Satyavan. And the mountains are ready and protecting the whole thing. Earth prostrate lay beneath their feet or store. Now this particular description, and of course the next line, below their crouch they dream of emerald woods. That is of course the description of the prostrate earth now. Emerald green forest stretching around and gleaming borders solitary as leaves. Pale waters ran like glimmering threads of pearl. So the streams are there, the brooks are there, and they're flowing down like threads of pearl. Pale waters ran like glimmering threads of pearl. What poetry! Pale waters ran like glimmering threads of pearl. The alliteration of L, of P, of R, or even T. You see, that makes the fluid flow very easily. The waters are really running very smoothly because of this alliterative language. Pale waters ran like glimmering threads of pearl. It makes the water flow very easily, you see, smoothly, you see. That is poetry, you see. This is another kind of poetry elsewhere, as I said, you see. Now, this is a description which I told you last time, which could be connected. I told you last time that this meeting place, we have snatches of this description at different places in Savitri. At different places in Savitri. I give you some examples also there. 320, 102.2, 103.14, half a dozen, more than that. In various places, this meeting place, this place is described in different contexts differently. But the closest to what is now here, we could see in the very early part, in Book 1, Canto 2, 320. 3.20. 3.20, 3.26, 27, 3.20. Around her were the austere sky pointing hills. We had started with the hills, earlier just now. Around her were the austere sky pointing hills, and the green murmurous brought deep thoughted woods, muttered incessantly their muffled spell. This is the description of the destined place, you see. A dense, magnificent, colored, self-wrapped life, draped in the leaves, vivid, emerald, monotone, and set with checkered sunbeam and bright flower. Immured her destiny's secluded scene. This is the destiny's secluded scene. This is the place where they are going to meet also here. Destiny. You see, the word destiny is very important, connecting directly both of them. Destiny's secluded scene. There has she grown to the stature of her spirit. Now, this is important. Savitri has grown at this place to the stature of her spirit. well, Savitri has just arrived here. How has she grown at this place? Is it not so? There has she grown to the stature of a spirit. It is here that a future event is going to take place. And it is here Savitri is going to do yoga. It is here that she is going to grow to the stature of a spirit. Savitri is just arriving here in the other canto. But it is here that she is going to do yoga and really grow to the stature of a spirit. It is here that she is going to discover her soul and the divine Savitri is going to come and stay in her soul here in this. That is the stature to which she is going to grow at this place. There has she grown to the stature of a spirit. The genius of titanic silence is steeping her soul in its wide loneliness, has shown to her herself's bare reality and mated her with her environment. She was one with the surroundings completely, you see. Bare reality, self's bare reality. It is there she is going to see what she is really, you see. Its solitude greatened her human hours. Again, that reference is there. Solitude in this place greatened her human hour with background of the eternal and the unique. A force spare direct necessity, reduce the heavy framework of man's day. What is the direct necessity? Savitri has to be prepared to meet the hour. It is the force of that necessity which is driving her. And his overburning mass of outward name to a first thin strip of simple animal bond, and the mighty wideness of the primitive worm, and the brooding multitude of patient trees, and the musing sapphire leisure of the sky, and the solemn weight of the slowly passing months had left in her deep room for thought and God. Now again here say, wait the slowly passing months. Yes, the months have to pass. That year has to come to an end at this place. There was her drama's radiant prologue lived. It is here that the drama is going to be enacted. The drama of death is going to be enacted here. There was a drama's radiant prologue lived, a spot for the eternal strait on earth. Again he says eternal strait. There, eye of eternity. Here eternal strait. A spot for the eternal strait on earth. Set in the cloistral yearning of the wood and watched by the aspiration of the peaks. This is what we said just now. Aspiration of the peaks. The hills, morning of climbing up to the sky, you see. Watched by the aspiration of the peak. Appear through an aureate opening in time. Where stillness listening felt the unspoken word. Yes, it is all such calm, such deep calm, that calm can hear the unspoken word. The calm can listen to that unspoken word, you see. Such deep calm, you see. Unspoken word. And the hours forgot to pass towards grief and change. So where is the question of grief and change? Yes, even if death is going to take place here, forget about it. Forget about it, you see. Here, with the sudden, even suddenness, divine events have. So that is the quality of the divine events. If they have to happen, they happen suddenly. In a moment, shorter than death, longer than time. If the divine events have to happen, they happen in a moment shorter than death. That death cannot come and intercept. That is the suddenness. No calamity can come and intercept. That is the meaning of suddenness. The divine event, they happen, no calamity can enter into that thing at all. No time is allowed to enter for that thing to happen, you see. That is the suddenness of the divine event. Here, with the suddenness, divine advents have, repeating the marvel of the first descent, changing into rapture the dull earthly round. Love came to her, hiding the shadow, death. This is the meeting place. Savitri is going to meet love here, and love is going to hide behind him, death. Important. Both of them are important to see. He has already told us in advance. Yeah. He has already told in advance in the section 3, where we are in section 102, 101. Love came to her, hiding the shadow. So Savitri is going to meet Satyavan. Unknowingly, she is going to meet him. But poor girl, she has no knowledge that he is going to hide behind him death. That will be told to her later on by Narad. Look, Savitri, you have chosen Satyavan, but you don't realize that he is hiding shadow behind, death behind him. That is what she will be told later on, you see. Yeah. So this is exactly the description of the meeting place what we have got here, you see. Now, I will only say one thing. There are expectations, be it sudden beings, but that expectation is also carrying with it the shadow. So now we have basically the description of the same place at two places, one more or less at the beginning, where the prologue, the radiant prologue of her life is being played. That is what we have got, the drama. And then later on, they're coming together and meeting. See. Now, there are small little differences between these two, not in terms of geographical details so much. They are more or less the same in both the places, geographically. But in terms of the quality of poetry, this poetry is of a slightly different kind than the poetry which comes in the distinct meeting place. The opening canto of the Book of Law is a different kind of a poetry altogether, you see. This is an inspiration which is coming directly, not only inspiration but also expression, coming directly from the overmind. It is pure mantra. The whole description from this point onward till the end of the section, it is na plus ultra. There is nothing beyond this in poetry.